Morning guys, Saturday morning, and guess where we are? Yep, back in that bathroom. We've got the panels, so we're going to get the walls all back on, get the walls reboarded, take our time with it this morning, and then obviously we've got to figure out what we're going to get on with, whether it be the vanity, the toilet, the radiator, the mirror. We've got silicone all the joints, silicone the ceiling. I think we will be here tomorrow, because even though if we really do take our time and spend the hours, we could possibly get it finished today. I'm more concerned about these panels actually being dry, especially how bad the glue hadn't gone off within 24 hours. But we'll see. So, like we said, going to get this wall boarded out this morning. We've got the original one that was there. That was only a minor issue with that one. So we can use that as a template and a guide and take some measurements, and we can potentially just use it as a template, add the extra bits on, and hopefully it'll go straight in and there won't be any problems. But we'll have a look and see. See you in a bit, guys. So this was the original panel the client wasn't happy with. Now, as you can see, the gap is minimal. It's acceptable, but she was just upset about that small gap there. So adding 4mm to that gap, up to that sort of pencil mark, should sort that out. It goes around the tray lovely, and we had a bit of a gap there, which again would have been a minor issue, but I'm going to add 7mm to nothing on that end and basically copy that panel exactly with them extra bits on, and hopefully a new panel will go in there absolutely perfectly. We've got that one already, and we've got that one already cut because we kept them from the original. And then we just got to carefully, this is the one where we had the big issue with the big cut line. So take our time with that one, take loads of measurements, and then hopefully we can follow the contour of that one and get it in a bit tighter. Wish me luck, guys, because I really can't do with any more problems. I need to get a couple of weeks now, plain sailing, no issues. That'd be very nice after the crap we've dealt with the last couple of weeks. So stay tuned and we'll get this sorted out. Okay, client is approved it. So what we've done is loads of glue all over the wall. I've put a silicone bead along the bottom, big silicone bead up that corner, so that when I push this tray in, it will seal, and then I can wipe off the excess, and then we'll second seal it on the front afterwards. So let's get this panel in. And there we go, she's glued in. She's all siliconed on that edge, back doubled up, tripled up now, because we siliconed that panel to the wall. We've then added more silicone and pushed that panel into it, so when we do that bead, if that ever leaks, it'd be a miracle. It should never ever leak. So that's all glued and siliconed within an inch of its life. Under the tray is all siliconed. I've gone OTT on that. So I'm going to get these ones in now, that one there and the one at the top, and then we can take our final measurements for the last one. So the nervous bit for me is over. There is a little gap there, but I'm not worried about that because we're going to be putting a plastic trim along this face. And once that's silicone, that'll be perfect. Her worry was in that gap there, which there is no longer a gap. I'm not going to get that any tighter than that. And that gap is now perfect. Amazing what you can do when you don't feel like it's the end of the day and then you start rushing. Do you know what I mean? So obviously we already had these panels left over, we've reused them, managed to. So that seam looks nice. I've marked my cut to cut the window out, which I'm not concerned about, it's marked. And now obviously we've got to put that one in, which is this one. So yeah, I'm happy with the one going in the shower, and I think even though they are different batches, I think that's not a bad thing, because having a different grain I think makes it look better personally. I don't know why they don't mix the batches up so that you get that different grain effect. I mean, you can still see it's the same pattern. You can see the pattern there is the same as the pattern there. So to be fair, it actually looks like that grain's running through and repeating in the going all the way up. But yeah, I'm happy with that first panel. I really do want to get the client's opinion on it before I start gluing and sticking all this stuff in, because the last thing we want is to get it wrong and have the client upset. So I'm happy with that one. We need to figure out this next bit around the toilet, which is another big one. If I can get it tighter than I had it before, I'll be happy, because once it's siliconed, it'll be beautiful. But it's looking good. The nerves are starting to subside. See a bit. Oh dear. Okay, so the stressful part of getting these wall panels back on is done. And they're looking really good. Client is very happy, which is all I care about. So we've got a little bit of a gap there, but that can be siliconed. We've got our trims on. Those are all looking really nice. As nice as you can get them for plastic trim. But yeah, everything's looking really good. I'm going to give the tray a good clean now. And we're going to get the radiator on the wall. Once the rad's on the wall, we can then get the floor down. Once the floor's down, I can then look at the vanity and the toilet. I want to get the shower screen bar on as well at some point today. Even if I don't get the glass on, if I can get the bar on and siliconed, then I can at least fully silicone the whole tray and get that bit of plinth on at the bottom. And then tomorrow potentially it's going to come in, fit the shower and the riser rail, put the screen in, put the support bar in, and any finished bits of silicone. But for me, the stressful part is done. The walls look really good. I'm happy, client's happy. That's all that matters. Let's get stuck back in. Okay guys, so we're going to get our rad ready to go. I've already mounted put the wall brackets on. All I've done is I just set a distance in, order on all four, and fix them in. I'm going to put the rad tails in now. We're going to do it the old fashioned way because I don't have any liquid PTFE, so we're going to do it with normal PTFE. So get your PTFE. Now you've got to make sure you wind this on the right way. And what I like to do, I have a spindle that comes with my little ratchet for doing these, because these are like a giant Allen key, and that sits in there and it goes in the ratchet. So when you're winding in, you want to make sure the PTFE is going the same direction, or going the opposite direction to winding it in, so that way it doesn't unwind as you're putting it in. So you want to put your PTFE on basically anti-clockwise. And don't be shy when it comes to PTFE, guys. There's never too much PTFE. Keeping it nice and tight. Go around plenty of times. As you can see, I'm not being shy. You can always pick the rest off once you're happy. Put it in the ratchet, make sure I've got it went the wrong way, of course I have. Right, so now we can put it in the radiator. Make sure you put it in the bottom as well. Give it a wind. Beautiful. And just repeat the exact same process for the other side. So again, taking that bit off, put it on the spindle, and then again anti-clockwise. When you think you've done enough, do 2 more winds. That's my motto. Have I got it right this time? I have. And into that one. Make sure you don't cross thread it. Get it so it's roughly the same height as the opposite side. There we go, beautiful. Now there is some PTFE tape around the bottom of that, but we can cut that away with a knife. That's basically ready to go. So the next job, we're going to mount our valves. Which are here on the floor. We're going to mount these on, just briefly, because I want to get, because we've got to cut the pipes. sure that they're facing the right way. So what we need to do now is we need to get a height, distance, put our finished feet on. Let's do that with the finished feet. So we need to measure that off, and then we can work out our height distance, a pipe distance, sorry. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to loosen, I'll do it with a screwdriver, there it is. Just going to loosen that off a bit and put it over here just for a minute. .6 level. Smacking myself in the face at the same time. Put that on there like that, and then we're going to get a tape measure. Whatever I've done with that. This is what you call being organised to do a video. Right. This is what happens on a Saturday when you're not ready for it. So I'm just going to crank that nut in. I'm going to measure from the compression nut to the front of my level, which gives me 40 mil. So we need 40 mil plus a scrap bit of pipe, put it in, give it a mark, 40 mil plus the depth of that, which is another 20 mil. So we need 60 mil of pipe out of the wall, and then we can put these straight on. Let's see what we can get on. So I don't know how I've done it, been quite lucky. I've actually, because I've got a little bit of expansion and a bit of movement in the pipe, I've actually got 60 mil on both of these pipes, and they can be, there's a little bit of jiggle room. So basically I can pop these off, put the isolators on, job done, and then I can then mount the radiator. Okay, so I've got a yellow mat down. We're going to try and snatch the pipes. I've wedged the pipes in so they don't push in and out too much, so that I can quickly pop it off, finger over, valve on, hold it, and then I've got my spanner already set. So wish me luck, because we're going to be going for it now. That's a combi boiler, so pressure is not going to be extreme. There we go, that's one done. Now we'll try and do the exact same thing again on this one. Got a little bit wet, got a little bit of spray, not the end of the world. Just going to grip that and give that a little tweak. That's it. Perfect. They may need a little tweak just to line them up, but we can get them tightened up once the rad's on. So we've got a little bit wet, but it just saves draining down the whole system. Minimal water on the floor, we've got a flannel for that. So we just mop that up, just like that. Give our panels a clean. Now we can pop out our wedges and remove our insulating tape that we put on just to stop the pipes from going back in the wall. Now fingers crossed, because I've yanked on them a bit, I've pulled them out the wall a bit, and it should now be beautiful. Okay, now all we've got to do is level our rad. Okay, so I've drilled me 4 holes. Now we know it's a stud wall, so I'm going to be using these Fisher fixings, which you basically drill a 10mm hole, you bend it over, you push it in, it pings out, comes back, so that will give me a nice solid fixing. So to drill in my holes, just got to feed them through. Sometimes you need to give them a little bit of, because obviously I'm going through the board and through the plasterboard. Once you're happy, push the white clip in, snap it off. Get your screw, make sure it's going to be compatible with these plugs, which it will be. There's your washer. And we need all of these. I like to just do one at a time. Just slow and steady wins the race and all that. Okay. Screw gun, just to speed things up. Making sure you get your fitting centre of your pencil marks. Obviously I can't over tighten these because at the end of the day we've got plastic panels on the wall. If we over tighten them we will cause damage. So we're just going to do that another 4 times and then we can mount the red. Okay, so we've got our 4 feet on the wall, all got a solid fixing. I've checked my brackets for level and they are all pretty good. So the moment of truth is to actually get the radiator mounted. So we're in on the top, we're in. And then all we'll do is run on that one to play. It's just this one. Being a bit awkward on this one. Just try and pull it out. Get it sort of on it. There we go. Okay. And she's on the wall. All we've got to do now is put the fixing screws in, check her for plumb, do the bolts up, drain, fill her up, put some inhibitor in the system, top the boiler up, and we're golden. See you in a bit. Okay, so what I've done, I've connected the valves to the radiator. There's the level on there like that. Got it level. I'm just going to draw around my feet. Ricky, just give us a hand a sec, please. Ricky? Ricky, just give me a hand a sec. Can you just quickly draw around those 2 bottom feet for me while I hold this level? Hang on. Right, yeah, go on. You have to go through there. Cheers, mate. Thank you very much. So that's my holes marked. This does obviously work better when there's 2 of you. Spin our valves off. That's it. And drill our holes. So all I'm going to do now is put that there, pencil mark the insides, drill the 4 holes, put the plugs on, mount these, mount the red. Stay with us. And there we have it. Radiator is on. She's connected, she's plumb. All I've got to do is basically bleed the system, put some inhibitor in, happy days, another job done. Next job on the list, lay the lino. So it's time to have a good thorough clean, scrape the floor, get any bits of crap off. Good tidy up. We're going to provisionally cut the lino outside. Then we'll bring it in, we'll trim it in, silicone it, put our bit across the front of the shower tray. Happy days, we're getting there. Oh dear, I don't like working on a Saturday, I really don't, but it's looking good. We've got the mirror on, the radiator is on, it's heating up, that's bled. We've put more inhibitor in the system. So that's done. We've got a mirror all on the wall, all working. It's also got Bluetooth speakers, believe it or not, so you can listen to music. So we put the toothbrush mount on. Don't know if you saw that earlier. We've now laid the flooring. The flooring's now cut and laid, just needs to be siliconed in. We've put our little bit of white trim across the front of the bath there. That just needs to be siliconed up across the top of it and underneath it, just to give it a seal. Yeah, so it's just the sink, toilet, shower screen, shower riser rail, etc. And then we've got to silicone that joint and round there, silicone the tray up, silicone the window, silicone everything. It's 1 o'clock, so what I'm considering doing now, if we get the shower mounted and siliconed and fixed, the rail for the screen on and siliconed, that way then I can silicone the whole of the tray area, I can silicone the whole floor and the window and everything else while there's nothing in the way. Then tomorrow I'll come in, we will fit the vanity, fit the toilet, fit the screen, final bit of silicone around bits and pieces like the toilet and the sink, and put on a toilet roll holder and every other little bits and pieces that she may have, and we'll be finished. Finally getting there. So let's get the shower mounted and then get stuck into some other bits and then we can get home. See you in a bit. Oh dear. Okay, so floor's finished, shower screen rail is on, and I have also hung the shower itself. It's all on, it's siliconed. It's not up to pressure yet, but it's on. As I say, we're looking really good in here now. I'm really happy with how it's looking. So it's all looking really nice. The floor's all had a nice bit of silicone on it. The corners are all looking nice. Windows all siliconed and looking nice. Hopefully the client will be happy. So the shower rail is on and it's all siliconed in at the bottom. All around the tray is siliconed. There's a lot of white. We've siliconed all the way around that as well. The niche and all the joints. So I'm just my OCD. So all the joints there have been siliconed. Shower, rain head and all that is in. So the little upstand across the front of the shower is in. All the flooring is siliconed. And I mean, look at that. It's finally looking like a finished bathroom. It's looking really good, guys. We're really happy. I've actually used nearly 4 tubes of silicone, just siliconing everything in this. I've siliconed it to the 9s. So I've got to pick up another tube tomorrow just for any little bits I may have missed and for around the toilet and the vanity. But yeah, basically tomorrow, stick the vanity in, toilet in, shower screen, any little fixtures and fittings, which is why I wanted it silicone today. So if I've got to drill any holes, it won't ruin anything. And then all I've got to do is address maybe some minor plumbing in the airing cupboard. For the pump, I need to check with my plumber to see if that is okay, what the British Gas apparently did. I'll have to give you a refresher on it. I don't think it's right, but I could be wrong. So basically they've come straight off the tank here. They come straight off the tank and they've teed straight off, straight down into the pump. Now, in my opinion, it should come off down here, at least minimum there. So that, because that's the vent pipe here, that's just the vent for the loft. It should have come off at least there and come across to here. I mean, it's a minor job to change that. All we've got to do is shut the water off in the loft, cut it, tee straight across. But I'm going to check with my plumber and see if that's okay. Because if he says no, like I suspect he will, then we're going to have to do that tomorrow. But yeah, really happy with how it's gone today after all the problems we've had here. It's looking mustard, really happy. So don't forget, guys, come back tomorrow for the finished result, and don't forget, like, share, follow and subscribe, and we'll see you then. Bye bye.